KX450 engine. Don't mess with me. I know what I got here. This is one of them rare, super polished pistons. I mean, there is nothing wrong. It had a little scuffing here on the side skirt here, but there is nothing wrong with this thing. Got a brand new, or pine needle clutch here. Yeah. I know what I got here. Don't mess with me. Just give me what I'm asking for. So, on the 250 aluminum frame project, I picked up another bike. They're heavy, gotta tell you. They're not light. A lot heavier than I remember them. I remember you used to be able to pick them up and throw them up. Yeah, no, I can't do that anymore. I'm too fat and too old, and picking up a dirt bike is just heavy. They're a lot lighter when they're just an aluminum frame. So anyway, here is the donor bike, KX450F, no number plate. The bolts for the seat were missing, but that's okay. I have some extras. Did come with a skid plate, which the bike did see some, skid plate work. Emporia, Kansas is where the skid plate was made. Looks like a good skid plate too. Did come with a FMF pipe, and I think a FMF head pipe, head tube, whatever this one is. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's titanium or not. It seems to be, well, it is locked up, but I don't think it's a cylinder lockup. I think it's a mechanical lockup. May have broke a timing chain, maybe hitting a valve, could be something else. I don't know. I gotta get the motor pulled out of it first. But I needed master cylinders, so the wheel turn, the wheel don't turn. That's great. That's the brakes. So same thing here, except we're missing a piece of the clamping here. Half the clamp is gone. I'm not sure what would have happened to that, but the front brake, it does work. It works. It does have, I don't know what the brand is. I know these are Pro Taper bars, just like on the KX model here. And then it has whatever these are. These are bar risers. This is what I need when I'm riding, because I need a taller riser. Look at that. I paid what I paid for this bike. It's a good price. I wasn't complaining. I went over, had to take 4 hours out of my day to go get it, because I had to jump a boat and run across the island to get it. It does need, it's missing a little bit of, tire. It's missing a wee bit. These are called slicks. These are, drag race tires for a dirt bike. Yeah, looks like it's sat outside in the pine trees. Does have an oil leak somewhere. I'm gonna take some brake clean to it here in a minute and clean it up, because I hate touching them when they're greasy and nasty. It takes all the fun out of them. So hold on. Pretty sure with the amount of oil I am cleaning off of the frame. I mean, it's oil soaked up in here, oil through here, oil caked in here, oil down there, the back of the, I mean, I'm surprised the rear brakes even worked. It had so much oil on the shark fin, which is plastic. Good going, Kawasaki. Plastic shark fin. Waste of time. Anyway, oil soaked all through here, oil soaked in here, everywhere. It's just caked in dirt and motor oil. So do I think the clutch may be in it? May not be. I should pull it out right now and have a peek. If there's no clutch in it, which would be good, it means that the gear case is working. Might mean that this motor is just really badly hurt and done, like done. And if it's seized up down here on the crank, or it's seized up here in the top of the jug, she's done, which is perfectly fine. I bought it for everything but this. I mean, I don't even think I can use the sprocket, but the chain, the rear wheel, the front wheel, the brakes, the subframe, the gas tank, which I was going to need, and radiators. And then I got all the handlebars. That means that everything for the KX I can put up for sale as a rolling chassis itself. If someone needs a frame part or whatever, I got a whole frame. Has to be cleaned up because it's dirty too. But I will have a second frame. And I should be able to recover most of everything I'm spending on this little project with some of the motor parts. The exhaust from FMF right there, power core. Maybe I can sell a rear shock. It's on the other frame, but I'll have everything I need off of this rolling chassis. I can either swap everything over to it, take what I've learned off of the other one and put it onto this one, such as drilling out these engine mounts and then moving them backwards. I can see where the alignment is with the chain and everything for the rear tire, so that I know how far in or out the motor has to go, the KX motor has to go, the two-stroker. I'm going to have another carburetor. We're going to have a carburetor for sale, maybe a set of cams. I don't know how bad this motor is until I get inside of it. And yeah, it's going to have to come out anyway. So she's a hunk of burning something. But I need this tank. I was going to need this plastic. I needed this plastic. I got a front fender, so now I have two. I'm going to have to refresh the plastic because it looks like crap, warmed over. It's all chewed up from, looks like from lip skidding, same as this back fender. It's nothing that a little bit of a propane torch can't heat it up and get it to smooth out a little bit, smooth some of this out, you know, get the fasteners in properly. But, you know, I'm going to have to check this rad too because it looks like it took a spanking on its side. Hopefully it doesn't leak. But I think this motor, pretty sure this motor down here on the drain plug ate it. Pretty sure it lost all of its motor oil and seized up, which is too bad. But that's the way she goes. And of course, we're just going to have to get everything tore down. So we'll look for the chain master link, which I'm not seeing yet. There it is. Right there. There's the master link. We'll pull the chain off so she'll roll free without a chain on. And then the chain looks like she's in decent shape. It looks like it was replaced not too long ago. I mean, it's awfully loose on this bike, but I mean, even with it sitting here, that needed to be adjusted backwards. Looks like the wheels and the axle shafts in backwards too. But you can see on the hub, like that hub should be the same color as that hub there. But she's black, and that's motor oil. I think as much motor oil as was put in this motor, sprayed out of this motor. It's an aluminum frame. They don't corrode very quickly. So, oh, and the clutch cable, it's the same thing as on the KX. So that's going to save me some effort too. I'll pull this off, pull this cable out of here, and we'll be able to save on the cable. The throttle cable, again, like I said before, it's a push-pull. So it's got the twin cables here for a 4-stroke. It's no good for me, but it's another part we can put back into the bin and see if we can't recover some money and sell that. Oh, and yeah, the clutch handle. Look at this. It's one of these aftermarket doodad ones here. They're not cheap. So you wipe out your bike and your clutch handle flips around. Only have one. This one here is just a standard one. I'm going to have to procure a back clamp here. Everything seems to be here. You know, the aftermarket here, it looks like they did some work in the shock tubes too. I haven't jumped on it to see how much springy it has, but the shocks and the front forks don't seem to be low on oil or anything. But it's got pro taper, contour, bars and clamps, which is great. That means I can sell the pro taper, bar and clamp for the KX. That can all go. I don't have to keep any of that. It's got riser bars here, which is great because I'm 6'2". I need them. Short bikes are not a lot of fun to ride if you're tall. I got some empty totes. I just have to pull it apart and see what we get out of it here. I think I'm going to pull that muffler and all that off first. We'll work our way forward. Get the rear fender off, the muffler off. Let's put all the fasteners back in the frame. Maybe pull the subframe off. Yeah, all the fasteners are there. Some of the fasteners are missing. That's fine. And we'll get the subframe off. And I got a rolling chassis. I think that's awesome. And I have 2 frames now to play with to figure out. I can pardon my French. I can screw one up. Hopefully he's got title for this one here. Hopefully. But yeah, so I got two chassis, 2 frames. I can screw one up and get away with saving one. We'll pick the best one of the 2. Obviously I've polished that one already. I wanted to see how well it would polish, and they polish up pretty good. So what I'll do is we'll get this one broken down into some base components. I'll try and get that motor out of the frame, get the gas tank off, maybe get the subframe off, get the muffler and everything off, and we'll go from there and see what I can do with it. But we're gonna make some room, because right now I don't have room. I'm running out of room again. There's a surprise. Okay, I have my suspicions as to why this bike is locked up. While I was giving it a bit of a brief cleaning, I found the drain plug for the oil. That looks like JB Weld, and it doesn't look like a particularly good job. I think it's been leaking around that plug. Someone cracked the bottom of this case. It's purged all the oil, and well, internal combustion motors like oil, at least a little bit, to be lubricated. I think it's welded itself together in the top end. I don't know. I'm hoping the clutches and everything else are in there, because it's worthwhile if it is. Let's see. Bring you back. Snail Garage, we don't have money for fine necessities like a snap-on roll cart or sitting bench thingama. Is that one busted too? Really? Well, I got the spark plug out, and she is soaking in oil. That's never a good sign. She could have been hydrolocked. Well, that was fun. God damn, 4-stroke motor's heavy. That little 2-stroke bastard over there, that don't weigh nothing. But I got it out. And down the floor. See it? I got it out. Carburetor's here. This system's a little, though the wiring and everything's a little bit easier to work with than on the KX. KX seemed to be a little more intertwined, but that's an old bike, so it may not have had connectors. Don't know, but I got it out. I got it out. So there's a carburetor. I didn't beat the ever-loving snot out of it. Didn't drag the cables all over hell's half acre. The control box is still up in there. The wiring harness is here. It's all unhooked. I took this rad off. This rad should be replaced. It's been kind of mashed. Just a wee bit. Not terrible. The rust in that in there wasn't all that bad. I'm thinking that the transmission in that thing is gone sideways. Thinking it's the transmission. Maybe one of the shift forks, you know, it went, yeah. something like that. The shift fork died inside. But that means you got to split the whole case. Regardless of what you do with it, you're going to be splitting the whole case. But I know a guy that's got a bottom half that is no good. And this one here, I got to split the case anyway. But if I'm going to split the case, I might as well put a good transmission on it, and then I'll have a full motor. Could be a good thing. Arm wrestling it back into this bastard. Whew. I mean, if I got to do it, I got to do it. But I'd have a running bike. 4-stroke too. A most gruesome, heinous death. Wow. I've never seen one do that. Let's see what else we got here. So we're now kind of gone from, wow, she's not beat to rat shit up here. It's got a bent valve. Yeah, you can see the bent valve. Definitely has a bent valve. But holy shitballs. Okay, let's pop these out. Savable? I don't know. The head is definitely savable. The head, yes. I'd say the head is definitely savable. The head is definitely savable. There's nothing wrong with the head. The piston. I don't know if you can see this from way over there. The piston is like, if I take some brake clean to it, it may clean it up. Maybe. If I light it on fire, it may help too. But at this point, I'd say the piston. I don't think pistons ride sideways or at an angle in the bore. Now, if it didn't hammer the snot out of the bore, maybe she could be, you know, buffed up, put some wax on it and save it. What do you think? There's a possibility. I mean, she's not too badly bent in there. I think that piston ring there, oh, there's one. Oh, it turned. Ooh, will she roll up through the sleeve? I don't know if that, is that cracked over there? I don't know. Let's see. If she'll push. Oh. She kind of wants to come up, but she keeps saying, no, I'm fucked. Let's just hold that right there. So let's pop this one here off and see what she looks like underneath here. I'm not sure if you can see all the bits and pieces down there. Down in the bottom down there, there's that chunk there. There's some more chunkage down there. Oh, and oh no, she's sticking. I mean, she kind of cleans up a little bit. I'm not sure if the connecting rod is salvageable. I mean, the piston is a wee bit, some parts of it are a little scuffed. You can see the scuffing, you know, but it's not terrible scuffing. Sorry, it's not terrible scuffing. You know, this is a little bit. It had a mouse. It got a little hungry there. And then on this side, the scuffing got really serious and did a skirt delete. So the skirt is, you know, down there somewhere. Don't know where. And there's a piece. There's another piece. Let's see if I can find Santa's little helper. And we're not even past Halloween.